All right, everybody. Welcome to the ATL Business Club. This is Kaz Thompson, and I'm glad you're here. We have a few people entering the chat, and tonight, what we're going to do is we have something very special. I know the club is designed to help out as many small business owners, entrepreneurs in the Atlanta area as possible. And as one of our first missions came up, a lot of people have been asking about just finance in general, small business funding, and personal finance, right? And just coincidentally, I happen to be partnering with a young lady. She's a wife, she's a mom, right? She's a friend, and more importantly, she's an advocate for financial literacy. And I definitely want to welcome her to the stage. Her name is Omeika Westry. And all those things are definitely great, but she's also the CEO of the Reigny Day Planner. And so we just asked her to jump on tonight and help us out. So I'm going to bring her to the stage. And here we go. What's going on, Omeika? How are you?
Hey, Kaz, I am great. How are
Awesome.
you? How was your day today?
Everything was fantastic. I'm so excited for this, and I'm happy you're here. We have a lot going on. A lot of people are excited. So as people come in, they know what they're about to get. It's the Mind and Money Masterclass, and we are going to be leaning on your guidance and your leadership, just around being better stewards, just overall personally. I know it's faith based as well, so I know you're going to just give us all the gems. So I appreciate you being here.
Yes, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm gonna leave, and then the floor is yours, and I'll be back at the end. But if anybody's on here live, definitely let us know where you're dialing in from, where you're tuning in from. If you're watching replay, you can still hit the comments and just let us know, where you're watching this from, and how we could assist. Give us feedback. We love the energy, and we want more of it. So I'll be back.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. So, as Kaz mentioned, my name is Omeika Westry. I am the creator of the Reigny Day Planner. Some of you may know me as the Reigny Day CEO. So I am all things financial, planning, credit, all of the things. So a little bit about me. As he mentioned, I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I have a son, and I actually, believe it or not, I have grandchildren. So I'm a nana. um, I was born and raised in Louisiana, and I am here in Atlanta. I've been here about 10 years. And so recently, when I say recently, I mean probably about a year and a half ago, I decided that we needed to create a resource to assist individuals with their faith and with their finances. So basically, the Rainy Day Planner is a tool that helps you to create generational wealth, and it helps you to align your faith and your finances. Simply put, you it teaches you to use your faith to increase your finances. So that is the simple version. But I am so excited that you guys decided to join us tonight to tap into this Mind and Money Master Class. So I do have a little bit of agenda that I'm going to just touch bases on. We may not get to cover everything because we know that we can talk about this topic all night long. So I hope that you are ready. I hope that your hearts and your mind are ready to accept everything that's going to be shared tonight, because I know that this is something that someone definitely needs to hear. So we are going to touch bases on financial mastery, understanding the mindset, because we know that at the end of the day, if your mind isn't into something, you're not going to do it. So it definitely starts with your mind. So I want to spend a little time there because sometimes we get into things and it's like, okay, we want to do something and we want it to be successful, but we don't really prepare for it. So we don't really get our mental together. Sometimes it takes not just your mind, but getting your body together for something as well. And sometimes we just kind of skip over that part and we want to save money or we want to create wealth, and we start, but then we stop. And one of the main reasons for that is because we don't really have that growth mindset. So I know you guys have probably heard before about like a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. Okay. So understanding the mindset refers to established set of attitudes held by someone, influencing how they perceive and respond to situations. So we know that sometimes life happens and the outcome of that can differ depending on how we actually perceive it and how we respond to situations. So again, as I mentioned earlier, it depends on the person and it depends on that person's mindset. So, in the context of finance, mindset, it shapes our approach to money management, risk tolerance, and decision making processes. Now, two primary mindsets, they do affect our financial behavior. Believe it or not, you may not have thought about this before, but it really does. So let's start with the fixed mindset, right? So believing that one's abilities, intelligence, and financial capacity are static and unchangeable. That's more of the fixed mindset. The growth mindset is what I wish all of us would embrace, is understanding that through effort, education, perseverance, one can enhance their financial abilities and outcomes. So I know that we've probably heard the cliche, life and death lies in the power of the tongue. And that is actually a true statement because you can't go through life wanting to be successful if you are consistently talking down on yourself, or you're consistently not believing in yourself, or you may say, oh my God, I want to be a millionaire, but you're not really putting in the effort to build that confidence or build that brand or build that business to become a millionaire. So a lots of times if we say something enough, it can definitely come to fruition. So that's why we should be mindful what we actually allow to come out of our mouths. On that same aspect, we should be careful what we put into our minds and our bodies. So you should be careful about the type of music that you listen to. You should be careful about the type of maybe TV shows that you watch. So all of those things that we invite into our environment, it could really truthfully be a hindrance. So I'll give you an example. So when I was younger, I wanted a car, and I didn't have the credit because I didn't understand credit. I didn't understand the importance of credit at the time. And so my mom co-signed me to get my first like brand new car because I had a car before, and I know we have all had this before, but we've had that little beater. And this car, I mean, y'all, it was just a mess. It was like, I never forget, it was like, I don't even remember the year, but it was like a gold Chevy Corsica. And I brought it from like a buy here, pay here place. Y'all, that car gave me the blues. So I ended up getting into an accident and I needed a new vehicle because I needed to get around. So again, my mom co-signed. And I did not, I mentally I wasn't ready for that. Like I just thought about, oh, I want to have this car. Like I want a new car. I didn't think about, or I didn't care about like how much it costs. I knew I had a job. I knew my mom had good credit, so I would get a good interest rate. However, I let my mom down. Like a couple of years after her co-signing for me to get the car, I started wilding out. I wasn't paying the car note. So guess what? It not only jacked my credit up, but it jacked my mom's credit up too. And she was at like 850. So I said that to say this. you have to have the right mindset. And if I can go back and do it over again, I would have definitely, most definitely done it differently. So you have to have the right mindset. And then sometimes we have to think about the fact that God, we want things and we pray to God for it, and He won't give it to us because He knows that we will not be able to handle it. So in a way, he withholds these things from us until we grow and we mature and our mindset changes. And there's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes I know we're busy, thanking God for, all the things that he's given us and who he is to us. But have you ever really stopped and thought to yourself, well, like while you were praying, God, just I thank you for what you didn't allow to happen to me. So I want you to just think about that as this time goes on, and like in your private prayer time, start thanking God for what He did not allow you to have and what He didn't allow to happen to you. And let me know how that works out. Okay. So at the end of the day, we have to have some type of strategies. Okay. So we have to have some type of strategies for developing a positive financial mindset. And sometimes it's not about being rich. It has nothing to do with being rich. It has everything to do with wanting to build wealth and be wealthy, because there is a huge difference between the two. Okay. So when you're developing a positive financial mindset, let's think about some things that we could do to implement that or to put that plan into place. One thing for me, I know if I want something, like when I bought my first home, um, I knew I needed money. Like I hope that I would qualify for like some type of government programs to help me out with the down payment assistance and things of that nature. But guess what? I found out, because I owe the IRS money, that I was not privy to any federal funding, any government funding. And good thing, by that time I had, I had grown up mentally and physically, and I had a better mindset and a better relationship with money. I understood where credit was and all those things. So even though I hoped for one thing, I had a backup plan in case that fell through, and it definitely fell through. Um, and on that note, if you're somebody out there that has been looking for a home and you owe student loans or you owe the IRS back taxes, just make sure that you're on a payment plan. Make sure that when you go to your lender, you can prove to them, you can show some type of supporting documentation that you have been consistent with your payments for at least 12 consecutive months. And guess what? It will not affect you, because I'm a living witness. I owed them at the time $17,000. I was $17,000 in debt on the IRS, and I was still able to buy and close on my first home. So it can definitely happen for you. Don't listen to the naysayers, because that's another mind thing, right? What people are saying in your ear. Sometimes you have to just block out the noise, and it's okay. It can be a family member, a friend, or an enemy that you thought was a friend that can just be feeding you stuff to set you back. So you have to even have a strong mindset to deal with people. I'll share another story with you. So when I was younger, I was like a people pleaser, and I all I wanted to do was make everybody happy. When I tell you, I prayed to God for him to deliver me from people. And when he did, my life went from here to here. And I never looked back. So that may be something you may need to include in your private prayer time. Sometimes we need to be delivered from people. And it doesn't matter how much we love them. It doesn't matter, what we've been through. Sometimes we need to be delivered from the people that we love the most. Just wanted to put that out there. So, growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Let's get back to that. So, a growth mindset in finances, this means seeing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. So, leading to more innovative financial strategies and resilience in the face of setbacks. So, example, when life starts lifing, how do you pivot? How do you get the and how do you put the train back on the track? That's a growth mindset. You don't want to have that spirit of defeat. You can't have that with the growth mindset, because again, this is an opportunity to learn. Okay. So let's talk about like what those characteristics include or look like. So, number one, embracing challenges. Yes, things are going to happen, plans are going to fail, and it's okay. It's okay. A delay is not a denial. Remember that. Persisting in the face of setbacks. So what, it didn't work out. Go back to the drawing board and try it again. Seeing effort as a path to mastery. Okay, so you may say, I want to save $15,000 by October 2024. We're in March. If you save $500 by the end of March, when your goal was actually 1,500, for example, that's okay. You're still going in the right direction. You're just taking a little bit longer to get there, and that's absolutely fine. Learning from criticism. This is something that we deal with. We deal with a lot. Sometimes someone that has very good intentions for you can give you the best advice because maybe they've been there and they've done that, right? And they are trying to prevent you from making that same mistake. Be open to that feedback. Be open to that positive criticism and don't take it to heart, especially if you know that this is somebody that puts your interests first. Okay. And being inspired by others' success. Be inspired. There's no room for jealousy, there's no room for competition. Be inspired by others' success and celebrate them. Celebrate others' wins, because when it's your time, when you're winning, you're going to want them to celebrate you as well. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of give you a little breakdown of what those characteristics look like. Okay. So now we're going to talk a little bit about strategies for developing a positive financial mindset. So, developing a positive financial mindset involves intentional actions and thoughts that foster growth and improvement. Again, this word growth keeps popping up because it goes along with that growth mindset that we talked about. So these types of strategies, they may include educating yourself on financial topics, like the Rainy Day Planner, for instance. Okay, that is a resource that you can use throughout life that will continue to educate you. It's literally the gift that keeps on giving. In that resource, you have everything from credit to meal prepping, to saving, to budgeting, to investing. I mean, like, I pretty much covered a lot of bases. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. Setting and visualizing realistic financial goals. One thing you do not want to do is set yourself up for failure. So if you know that by December, you, based on your income and your spending habits, you know you can only save, let's just say, I don't know, $7,000 versus 15,000, then that's the goal that you need to set. Don't let yourself down. Don't set unrealistic goals. Practice gratitude for what you have and your financial wins. One thing that I've learned on my Christian journey is to appreciate God for where I am in life and the things that He has provided to me and my family. I have learned to be content with Him. So show gratitude, show gratitude for what you have and your financial wins. And it's okay to celebrate small wins. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that because that is going to motivate you more. When you actually see, even if it's little chunks, if you're constantly moving towards that goal, but you're not taking the large steps that you thought you would, but you're taking baby steps, that's okay. Celebrate yourself, because sometimes you're gonna be the only person clapping for you. Okay. So learning to frame financial setbacks as learning opportunities. Again, when you're faced with adversity, I want you to sit back and I want you to think about what can I learn from this situation? What do I need to pivot to, again, to put the train back on track? But most importantly, what have I learned? It's okay to make mistakes because none of us are perfect, right? It's okay to make mistakes, but I'm not a fan of making the same mistakes. So it only takes me one time, and I'm going to learn. I'm going to readjust, and I'm going to continue on the road that I'm on. And regularly viewing and adjusting financial plans to stay aligned with your goals. It's just like the $7,000 savings goal versus the $15,000 savings goal. Now, maybe at the beginning of the year you were like, okay, I'm going to save $15,000 by October, and you start off with doing well, and then maybe something happened, right? You may have an unexpected car repair, or an unexpected family emergency. That's okay. Just go back, reassess where you are, and figure out, okay, I may not be able to do 15, I can do 10. So sometimes we just have to go back and regroup. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So these practices are going to help in cultivating a mindset that views financial management as a journey of continuous improvement. As long as you keep going and don't stop, you're going to be all right. Someone said to me yesterday, we were having a conversation, and we were just talking about, some good things that happen, and sometimes some not so good things that happens. But one thing we noticed was you can't stop because it doesn't last forever. Remember, no matter the situation, it doesn't last forever. So I want you to keep that in the forefront of your mind. So if at this point in time in life you are going through some type of, I don't know, financial difficulty, maybe you're having some issues with your kids, or in your relationship, and you just feel like the world is coming down on you, it will not last forever. And don't ever forget that. Like Walter said, trouble don't last always. So remember that. So let's move on to implementing mindset shifts in financial planning. So incorporating a growth mindset into financial planning involves several practical steps. And of course, I got them for you. I'm going to give them to you. So start by assessing your current financial situation and your mindset. So that is as simple as sitting down with your rainy day planner and writing out your budget. You can budget by the week, you can budget by the month, whatever cadence works for you, that's what works for you. Okay. So, again, assess your current financial situation mindset. So, you're okay, these are my goals, these are my financial goals, or these are my faith goals. This is what I want to achieve by next quarter. Make sure, number one, that you have the right mindset about it. And then you want to write out, once you confirm that you have the right mindset, you want to write out your stuff. Okay. Identify any limiting beliefs about money and challenge them. Okay. Now, a lot of people like to use the cliche, money is the root of all evil. No, actually, it's the love of money is the root of all evil. So sometimes we just pick stuff up from, I don't know, our mom, our dad, our aunt, and we just carry it throughout life because, what they may or may not have said was golden. But do your own research and challenge that. Okay. So set specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound financial goals. So those are SMART goals. Again, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound SMART goals. Okay. Those you want to set SMART goals for your financial goals. Create a flexible financial plan that accommodates learning and growth. So it's okay to have dreams and to have desires to be wealthy, or be in a different place than where you are today. But you want to be flexible. You don't want to be so strict, because if you start restricting yourself, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to get frustrated and you're going to give up. But if you give yourself some flexibility there, then you'll just learn how to readjust instead of just giving up. Celebrate progress towards your goals to reinforce positive behaviors. I've said this before. Celebrate your small wins. It is important. I don't know how it is for you, but it makes me feel good. It makes me actually feel great when I have written something down and I've actually achieved it. So I celebrate that. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So adopting a growth mindset in financial planning, it encourages adaptability and resilience, essential for long-term financial well-being. Now, I'll tell you guys a little story. Growing up, my mom, she handled all the funds. And my mom knew how to save. Like, she would send, like, myself or my older siblings, she would send them to the grocery store because my mom never knew how to drive. She never learned how to drive. So we would go to the grocery store for her. And when I tell you, when we get to the cash register to check out, it was like not even 10 cents left because she had everything down to a T. So I picked up like my financial savviness and my love for numbers and finance from my mom because I saw her do it. A lot of things that we do as adults is because of what we saw. One thing I always say about children, they will do what they see, not what they're told. So I watch my mom handle all the finances, allocate the funds. Like, even my dad had an allowance. Like, that is how much a budgeter she was. And I don't know if my dad was running the household with the money as far as the finances were concerned. I don't know if we would have made it. Like I don't know because he was a bit different from my mom. So I learned like especially like in a marriage, like you gotta kind of stay in your own lane. Like you have to do what works for you. You have to do what works for you. So I just wanted to share that with you guys tonight. I know that you can like type in the chat. So I want to know. This is your turn now because I want to take a break. I feel like I've been talking a little bit too much, and I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Like, let me know what questions you have when it comes to having like that financial mindset. Like, let me know what I can assist you with. Let me know how I can help you grow on your faith based financial journey or on your financial journey. And while you guys are doing that, I'll tell you another story. So, remember earlier, I mentioned the fact that I owe the IRS like $17,000, right? Again, I was childish. I did not have the right mindset. I did not have a great relationship with money. I definitely didn't have a great relationship with my credit. And so I end up getting myself in a situation. And instead of me learning the first time, what did I do? I just let it pile up, pile up, pile up. And that's how it got to 17K. So COVID came. And what happened was I wasn't leaving out of the house because we were like on lockdown for a while. So I didn't have anywhere to go to spend money. And it really started to click and I'm like, well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going spending money. I'm basically just I'm going to the grocery store. My husband would go to the grocery store, get what we needed, and we were not spending any money. And I was like, this is the perfect time to pay off this debt. So even though I was on a payment plan, I started paying thousands on top of what I had already agreed to pay. And like I would say within 19 months, I had knocked that debt down. Because by the time COVID came, it wasn't 17K at the time because of course I had been on the payment plan. It probably was down to about, if I remember correctly, it was down to about maybe 14K or something like that. But I knocked it out. I knocked it out. I never looked back. And I said to myself, I never want to put myself in that position ever again. And I truly started like analyzing my relationship with money. And once I changed my mindset, my entire life changed. Like I came to Atlanta with a paycheck from my previous job and my personal belongings, and I lived with a friend. That's how rock bottom I had hit. And I've been in Atlanta 10 years. And the house that I'm sitting in now, this is my second one. And I no longer owe the IRS debt. And I say that to say this: it's okay to mess up, but you have to learn from your mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes. Because I promise you that back then me is not the same me that's talking to you tonight. Better mindset, better life choices, just overall quality of life just escalated. And no, I didn't do it by myself. I could not do this by myself. It's really by the grace of God and adhering to his word and being obedient to his word and tithing, giving my 10% and realizing that let me be obedient, let me give him my 10%. And I've watched him triple the 90%. So it's things like that that I'm grateful for, which is why I made the Rainy Day Planner, which is why I didn't just make a planner about budgeting and about saving. I made a planner about God, his word, your faith, saving, budgeting, planning, all those things. So I really want to hear from you. I'm gonna drop a question in the chat for you guys. So I want to know, what would the old you tell you right now? What type of financial advice would the old you tell you right now? If you can go back in time and change some things, if you can go back in time and and just make different life choices, what would what would you today tell, I don't know, 10 years ago you, in reference to your finances? What would you say to yourself? I'll start. I would definitely tell myself that credit matters. I would definitely tell myself that it's okay to not have everything and that you actually have to work for it, for what you want. That's what I would tell myself. So Cass says he would tell himself, I can't take Jordans to heaven. Spend wisely. Absolutely. Because I promise you, Jesus will not be up there wearing J's. Okay. Wasser says, don't overextend yourself. Definitely. Especially when it comes to your finances, don't stretch yourself thin. And if you can't do something, the word no is very powerful and it holds a lot of weight. So Jada says, save as much as possible and don't have multiple credit cards. Keep your credit in good standing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jada, absolutely. We don't need all these credit cards. And our credit, we need it. So Yara says reinvest. Absolutely. Reinvest versus spend, especially if you're a business owner, right? And let's just say business is good and you're making money, you're bringing in profits. So if you're bringing in profits, you should use some of those resources to buy more product or improve or enhance the product that you already have, or spend it on marketing or something, but definitely reinvest versus spending it. Because I swear, y'all, I know some people in real life that have about $20,000 saved up, and they have $18,000 credit card debt, or some other type of debt. It could be credit card debt, some type of loan payments, or something else going on. What is the point? What is the point in saving the money and you're keeping the debt? I just don't see the logic in that. So yes, Yara, I definitely agree with that. Reinvest, especially If you are a business owner, reinvest. Um, if you grew up in the streets, some people would say re up. So, whatever the case may be, however you want to word it, but definitely reinvest. And one thing, I used to, yes, Yara, that's a great point. Income to debt ratio calculator. So look, when you go to buy a house, when you go to buy a home, they're going to look at how much you make versus how much debt you owe, or whatever you're going to buy. They're going to look at those two things, and they're going to try to factor or figure out what is your debt to income ratio. And guess what? If it's too high, so sorry, you got to pay some stuff down. Come back and see us in 6 months, and they will give you a plan of what you need to do and what you need to map out. They will give you a plan for that. So keep them coming. So definitely, like keep that debt down. It does not, like I already say, it's the same as we do in business. In person, yes, yes, you have business over here, you have personal over here. Like it doesn't make sense to have money and you have this debt that you can pay off. So yeah, that's something. And I mean, I've never understood it. Um, let's see. So let's talk about your needs versus your wants. That is something that is vital when you are mapping out your financial journey. Okay, so I'll go back to Cass's comments. Like you said, hey, he can't bring Jordans to heaven, right? So buying a pair of Jordans, that's a want. Okay, that's a want. That's not a need. A need is something that you absolutely cannot live without. So, for instance, you got to have a roof over your head, right? So you have to pay your rent and or your mortgage. You need to have lights on, so you need to pay your light bill. You don't necessarily need cable, so you can cut that card to save money, but you can get like some type of streaming services, or like most of us do, we just get on our friends Netflix account or Hulu account, right? So like your needs are like water, like you need running water, you need lights, you need a roof over your head, you have to eat, so you have to buy food. Those are needs. Your wants are, oh, I saw this nice car, but you have two cars sitting outside in your driveway. You have two cars out there, and you're going to buy another one. Why? It's more debt, right? Um, another another want would be clothing, right? Another want would be that, oh my God, like as ladies, some of us, we feel like we have to go to the salon every 2 weeks, or we have to go to the nail salon every 2 weeks. So just, it's kind of like making a list of pros and cons, if you ever had to do that to help you make a decision. Just make a list of your needs, make a list of your wants, and stick to what you need. Okay. So if you do that long enough, you can truly afford your wants. But if you, if you have a goal that you have set, and you like you want to stay on track, those wants are going to have to wait. Those wants are going to have to wait. When people come to me and they talk about buying a home, for instance, yeah, I know y'all probably say a lot of people come to her talking about buying a house. Yes, yes, y'all, like hair. We don't have to go there every 2 weeks. Okay, we once a month will do us fine. Um, so I can just start spitting out things to tell them where they need to cut back at. Like, stop eating out so much. Cut the cable card. Stop buying things that you do not need. Stop giving in to your wants. Um, Maybe pick up a second job. You can do like Uber, Lyft, or something like that. Like anything that's gonna bring in some extra income that's legal. Okay, some legal extra income. Let me be clear. So, just it's a lot of things that we can go without, if that makes sense. We don't need to go, and this is a bad habit that I had. I'll share this with you. So I would go to Publix, and a lot of people don't like to go to Publix because they feel like, oh, it's too expensive, right? Well, guess what? I still go there because it's definitely a pleasure to shop there. But I don't get a buggy. I don't get the big buggy that I push. I get the little one, the little green one that I can just put on my arm and walk around the store and get a few things. And so my bills, my grocery bill has gone from like $120. And that was like, y'all, I was going like twice a month, spending like 120 or more. And so that has gone from like 120 per visit to 45, and sometimes not even that much because I can't even fit that much in that little basket, and I refuse to get one with wheels. So it's just little things like that that you can do to cut back, because sometimes, hey, the sacrifice is gonna always be worth it. And what's gonna make you feel good when you actually achieve what you sought out to do, when you achieve it and you know you did it on your own, and you know it was like, I mean, it was all you appreciate it more. It's like, I'm gonna give you an example of something that's kind of like a pet peeve, and I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's not anything that I would do. Probably the old me, but not the Rainy Day CEO me. So people they will get a raise or a promotion at their job, right? And let's just say that they go from making, I don't know, 45,000 to 60,000, and they go and finance a vehicle that costs 60,000. That's not it. That's not it. That's the wrong move. And then if something happens, or let's just say they work a lot of overtime, and they're like, oh, I could afford this, but what if the overtime goes away? You have to continuously reevaluate your finances, reevaluate your situation, like, because life happens. So, circumstances are going to come up, and you've put yourself in a position to where you now you and on top of working overtime, or if this overtime goes away, then you have to get a second job, because now you put yourself in a position to where you got this car, you got to pay for it. It's either that or the repo truck going to come and pick it up, and guess what? Your credit is going down the drain. But the credit, that's a whole topic for another masterclass. Okay. I can talk about that all day, but at the end of the day, I just want to say that anything you put your mind to, you can do it. It starts with your mindset in anything that you do. Pray about it. Like, really seek God about it, because he's going to give you direction. He's going to give you vision and provision. He will definitely do it. If he gives you the vision to start a business, he will bless you with the customers to buy from you. No doubt about it. Get away from naysayers, get away from haters, get away from doubters. Get away from somebody telling you that you can't make it in your business and they don't even have a business. Why are you even listening to them? Let's be real. So it has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you guys. Like, I hope that I was able to share some knowledge, some gems that you can take with you and implement throughout your journey. One thing I do is, like, I'm a motivator. So if you come to me and you have a problem, my wheels start spinning because I'm already figuring out in my head how to tell you how to fix it. That's the type of person that I am. It's the Rainy Day CEO in me. It's part of the reason, a big part of the reason why I created this faith-based financial planner. Okay. While I'm here, you guys can definitely continue to drop comments or questions in the chat while we're wrapping it up. I think we have about 6 more minutes on the clock because I don't want to impede on your time too much. But while I'm here, again, my name is Omeika Westry, the creator of the Rainy Day Planner. I am on all social media platforms as Rainy Day CEO. I'll drop it in the chat for you. I would love for you guys to follow me on Instagram. You can check out my website, rainydayplanner.com. Also, you can check out what we have going on there. Like this month, we have a 35% off sale because we're celebrating women. This is National Women's Month. So I want to give you a token of my appreciation for supporting me in my business by giving you a 35% discount on every item on the website, rainydayplanner.com. So let's see. Yara says self-care activities that you use during times of constraint. So washing my own hair, and I hadn't done that for years. I so when I was, getting down to my true budget, washing my own hair, not wearing, because like these are tips, not wearing tips, just wearing my real nails. Um, I didn't buy a lot of like clothes during that time. I cut the cable card. I read books instead of going so instead of always going to the spa, I would just do other self-care things for myself, things that gave me joy, which is like reading, journaling. That's my first love. There's instead of going to the spa getting like facials, I adopted my own skincare regimen at home, and it saved me so much money. So things like that, Yara, like do your own hair art. I don't know if you're natural. I'm sorry I can't see you, but wear your natural hair. Wear a twist out, something, anything that you can do that, you know, like I said, gives you pleasure to do. Like I said, I journal, I spend time just journaling to God. That gave me like a lot of peace and contentment. Like I said, develop my own skincare regimen. Started washing my own hair. Oh my God, that was a time. Okay, that was definitely a time. But I did what I had to do. There's even like these little and you can get them at Walmart. Yara, it's like the little tubs like that you put your feet in, that you plug in the wall, and you can like give yourself a pedicure, something like that. It's so many different things that you can do, but I love the fact that I was able to develop my own skincare routine. And yes, I buy a certain products now. I finally found something that works for me. But before, going to the spa and getting the facials, because they cost a lot of money, especially if you get like add-ons. I just did it myself, like at the house. I brought something that was compatible to my skin, that didn't break me out, that I can do myself. So those were my self-care activities. Will I be creating an app for the tech lovers for the planner? So Yara, I'm glad you asked. I wouldn't per se call it an app, but I will be dropping a digital version for my digital girlies, my tech lovers. I will be dropping very soon a digital version of the Rainy Day Planner. It will come with all of the resources that I mentioned that's inside the physical planner, but it will be in the digital form. It will allow you to duplicate pages if you need to. Um, if you're like traveling a lot and you don't necessarily want to carry your planner, you can have your iPad with you while you're on the plane, and you can journal. You can write out your budget. You can write out even your grocery list. I even put that inside. So you can do everything that you need to do on your iPad. So yes, to answer that question, it won't be so quite an app like my own app, but yes, there will be a digital version dropping soon. Thank you for asking. Oh, what other questions? Oh, it's 8 o'clock. It is 8 o'clock.
It
Hey,
is 8 o'clock. Hey, I had to jump back in. You did fantastic. I want to thank you and everybody that participated, and even people that are watching in the future that might be watching the replay in our group. Again, we want to thank you, Miss Omeika Westry, for just guiding us and giving us all those great tips. I had a lot of tips, but I know it's 8 o'clock, so I'm not going to go through them. So I'm just going to name one that I took. Mindset. It involves intentionality. So no matter where you are, just make sure that you're practicing some of the strategies that Omeika gave to us. You can follow her at her website, www.rainydayplanner.com. I got that at the bottom. And for anybody else, if you want to, reach out to her on social media, what was that account again, Miss Westry?
Rainy Day Planner.
Rainy Day Planner. It's that easy. All right. I appreciate you guys. If you guys have any questions, again, I'm Kaz. And at the very bottom is www.atlbusinessclub.com. I appreciate it. Good night,
Thank
everybody.
you. Have a good one.